Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. Season 6, Episode 11. It's called From the Ashes. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. And these S.h.i.e.L.D. reviews are brought to you by one of our patrons, are sponsored by Tim Neal, so thanks to him. This episode obviously picks up where we did last time, with Mac and Yo-Yo away with s.h.i.e.L.D. And the Zephyr. And that side of the plot, they do a really obvious thing at the start where Yo-Yo wakes up, she's kind of out of it, she's blood on her fist, and she's like worried. Then she hears Matt groaning, and she runs around and starts talking to him. And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking, well, I'm expecting them to pull the swerve every so often, and I don't think Yo-Yo's dumb here. I don't think you can blame her that much for this.
I think I can a little.
Of course you are.
Well, no, I'm just saying the entire thing is a body snatching villain who has just come out of your body. You're in midair still. You're not going to think, well, maybe she went into the other one. I don't know. It seems like it should be a first thought.
She doesn't know they're alone. They established very heavily last episode that they don't remember anything when s.h.i.e.L.'s inside them.
Oh, sure, but she knows they're in the air. She can feel the plane flying. There's no one that she can see there.
Sure. Well, no, I don't think you can blame her because she's just woken up. She's distraught. She's gathering herself together. Mac's hurt. I don't know. Like, I feel there's enough going on, and it's not long enough that I'm sitting going, Yo, you're such an idiot for not thinking of this immediately.
I don't know. I felt it. It's the second or third time this season where I felt like there's been just a couple of leaps where the characters have to make a stupid decision to justify it carrying forward.
Nah, I was okay with this. I think you'd be alright. This is exactly the sort of thing you whine about. Do you know what? I knew you were going to whine about this. It got to the end of the scene, I was like, that was fine, but Connor's going to whine about it.
Because it wasn't fine.
No, it was
Because
fine.
just because it has to happen. I don't believe the characters were that stupid. It was the same with the bloody getting them together thing. I mean, that was worse, but I say it feels like there's a couple of things where well, we need this to happen, so they're just going to do it.
So basically, s.h.i.e.L.D. gets Benson's name out of this, that he might actually have an idea where they're going, because she needs a location. She's a temple on Earth that will let her use the energies of the monoliths to access a portal, which will bring her Shrike family from her home world into Earth, and then she can take over the galaxy or the universe.
Yeah,
that's the plan. Some fun stuff here though, because when Benson does get on board, and Benson isn't aware that anything's going on yet, and Yo-Yo has been told not to tell him, obviously, or else it'll cause some trouble. And she's in Mac's body right now. Benson just happens to mention the boyfriend that died, and she reacts to that in a way that Benson would be like, wait,
she
what?
says, "Oh, I'll tell him, or he'll like that, or something like that."
Yeah, she talks about him as if he's alive.
Yeah, present tense.
And Benson, looks at her weird, and Mac just, s.h.i.e.L.D. and Mac just happens to be looking away a little bit, and she gives him just the eyes.
Little nod over him.
Yeah. So he actually subtly deletes all the info he's got on his tablet. So Mac and Yo-Yo have a couple of heart-to-hearts in the box, and ultimately, all they really achieve is to get Benson out. They send the containment cell down with Benson inside of it. Basically by kind of, Yo-Yo steals the orb, and then
kind of jumped over a major bit for Benson here, where s.h.i.e.L.D. opens up the creation world, and makes him see his fears.
Oh sure, yeah, we hadn't talked about the fact that she knows where she's going yet, like that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the whole point of why they let him go. Is he can tell them, he can tell the rest of the team.
Yeah, that's the point, is that they can tell the team. But she opens it up, and it creates his dead husband, and it starts off kind of emotional in a sort of reunion way, but then it quickly becomes blaming him for his death, and choosing to take him off life support, and all the other things. And then s.h.i.e.L.D. sort of stabs him, which makes him turn to dust and go back into the orb or whatever. And from there, it's like, well, I'm going to do this over and over again, and I'm going to kill him 100 different ways, and I'm going to, you're going to have this conversation in different forms after time and time again. So that kind of breaks him, and he does give up the information. But I mean, yeah, that's basically it. Outside of the fact that obviously we see them in this temple towards the end of the episode, and they're tied to a pillar, and S.h.i.e.L.'s prepping things and explaining her plan because she needs them to help recreate the monoliths because they've got them in their head.
I find it interesting that she can't seem to use this herself. Because I think I think she knows what they look like. I don't think that's the problem. I think it's that she doesn't have the imagination, because she talks a lot about how humans have a lot of imagination. They just can't focus it, so that's why it always comes out as their fears.
Yeah,
I feel like she literally does not have the capacity to use it herself.
yeah, very possibly. That would explain why she needs help,
Yeah,
and why she doesn't just kill, even though she keeps threatening to kill them. Why
yeah.
they're still both here? Why would she bring them here? Why does she need
Yeah.
them here?
And they kind of just laugh in her face.
Yeah. Other than these subtle things she says about the others coming. Once Benson gets out, she's like, "Well, the Shrike will need host when they get there." So, other than that small reason why you'd keep them around,
Yeah,
why have them? And sure enough, now I'll give you points if you can remember this dude's name who appears at the end of the episode.
Not a chance.
No, not remember. No,
Oh, could you?
Flint. His name's Flint. As soon as I saw it, I knew what it. Because
I know who he is, but I was never getting that name.
No. I meant as soon as I saw the name, I knew it was the right one. I didn't check the face or whatever. I just once I saw it, because I knew it was something that was like a material. Because I was like, it's not rock, but it's like, like I remember it being a thing like that. Flint. Yeah. And yeah, so he just kind of turns around and says, "Where am I? How the hell did I get here?" So presumably coming from their imagination in some way. Yes. I don't expect it's really him who's teleported from this alternate future that no longer exists.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, so we'll see how this. It was a neat callback to bring him back. It was kind of a random pull that,
yeah.
And it is monolith related because he was involved and helping send them back and all sorts. So that's neat. That's a smaller plot of the episode, but I wanted to get that one out of the way first because I think the main plot back at the base, back at the lighthouse, is much more interesting on an emotional level for the characters, and it's basically the idea that we have Sarge and he's got these powers. He's this weird thing where it's like his skin's kind of like bouncing off of his body. Weird thing. Yeah,
it kind of like becomes like a dust particle thing, and then kind of forms back.
Yeah, it was making me think of those like not needles, but like the pin things you can put your hand in and stuff, and it makes the shape. Like you push the pins through.
Oh yeah, sure, like the little magnety things.
Yeah. It was making me think of that a little bit.
I can see that.
But May tries to talk to him and is trying to ask about the memories because, according to Simmons, May thinks that when he has memories of a family, May's speculating that what he's remembering is them. And we know that's true. We saw it in his head. But she's not getting through to him. He's been he's kind of stonewalling her, and May storms off. And Sky's running around, basically being kind of hot-headed, kind of barking orders at people, getting frustrated at Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, we'll just beat it out of him.
Yeah, they're getting frustrated at Fitzsimmons because they've not come up with a solution yet to deal with S.h.i.e.L.D. because that's their task for this episode. It's like, okay, how do we fight her because she can keep jumping around bodies? So they're trying to figure out that. And Sky wants to beat it out of him. She wants to awaken the other thing in him, not the Coulson stuff. She wants to awaken the real being that can fight S.h.i.e.L.D. and sort of discover what that power is.
Yeah, and they're all pointing out that, hey, that's kind of what S.h.i.e.L.D. wanted to do, because then it might join her. Yeah,
very dangerous. And it kind of goes back to because ultimately where we get to, it kind of goes back to one of the things that we were talking about last week, and the idea that I like more than it just sort of becoming Coulson is the idea that it's a new life form that's kind of a combination of like some of Coulson's memories, whatever this thing is, and because so May has this Simmons has this big thing with Sky where she's like, hey, every time something big happens in your life, you kind of run away, and she mentions all these times in the series, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, actually, she did kind of bail on the team, like after all those incidents. You're right. Yeah. that was kind of a running thing. But
it was like after she got her powers. After
she got her powers, she went to the commune for the Inhumans. After Lincoln died, that was where she went on the run because we started season 4 with her being kind of a rebel and out and around. So yeah,
after Coulson died, she went off to space.
Yeah. So yeah, this tracks. But we find out she had the letter from Coulson, and I'm wondering if we're still going to get to hear this at some point, because I thought it was interesting, the decision not to actually, because I was expecting Coulson's voice to start reading what it was.
I was. Now that because we've already had her react to it, I hope we don't.
Now, see, here's what I think may happen now, and this would work: is Sarge reads it out loud and discovers it.
I don't think it works if he reads it. I think it only works if he remembers it.
I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen. It's one of the possibilities I can see now, because I feel like it's interesting that they brought out this letter. It's several pages long, and we don't get to hear it. It's typically it's Chekhov's letter. I feel like we're going to get to hear what's in that letter at some point. Maybe when Skye is like trying to convince Sarge that he has got good in him or something like that, and she's going to whip out the letter and like read this because it'll remind you of what sort of man Coulson was, and so I don't know. I could see a moment like that maybe happening, when he's at his darkest peak or something like that. I don't know. But she goes in and she snaps his neck with her powers. You think she's going down an emotional route where she's kind of trying to bond with him because she's bringing up memories and stuff. But all she's really establishing is that the powers kind of got heightened after he died, and then she just quakes him in the head, and that snaps his neck. Which Fitzsimmons and Deke all freak out about, quite rightly. And then she just sits there quite patiently, waiting for him to wake up. And they confirm that
it take as long as last time.
Yeah, they confirm that he's alive again, fairly quickly. But he gets up. He does have even stronger powers. He hits her across the room. Super powerful. He rips out the entire door, and not just the door. Like I'm not just saying he rips out the door frame.
It's all like the concrete around it.
Yeah,
well.
It's like he rips out the wall, literally. With his powers, and starts storming around. And Skye grabs the sword, which is made of the same metal as the daggers, and it's like, okay, this can kill the Shrike. Maybe it can kill s.h.i.e.l.d. We'll see if it works on him. And she's the only one, for the record, who is gung-ho about going to fight him, like going to try and kill him. Everyone else is like, oh, maybe we should try a different tactic. May's like, no, try talking to him, blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, I'm going to kill him. Stop pretending this is Coulson. It's not Coulson. I have to accept that. You have to accept that. Let's kill the bastard. And we have this encounter in the hallway. And this is the standout scene of the entire episode, because they did something really smart here. They did something that told us that Coulson in some fashion was in there in a way that worked, that isn't something they had to set up this season. It's not something that they set up last episode. It's something that's just naturally there because we've not heard anyone really call her Skye since like season 2. And I'm sure there might have been one or two random little instances at the start of season 3 when they were all getting used to the new name or whatever, but like, season 2 was the last time her name was properly Skye.
Isn't that long ago?
Yeah, because it was the whole story with her father and her mother.
Yeah, I remember that. I just assumed that wasn't that long ago, but fair enough.
Yeah, I was saying season 2. She has now been Daisy longer than she was ever Skye. In the show. So
in the show, yeah, not in her life.
Not in her life. But when so when he says just do it, Skye, like, and he doesn't think about it. He doesn't stop and have a moment. He just says it because he thinks that's the right thing to say.
He never even notices.
Yeah, it's her that notices, and it kind of hit me. I was like, well, okay, that was a neat trick. That was a really smart way for a long time viewer. Because at this point, 6 seasons in, who's enjoying this show now? It's people who have been watching it the whole time. They're not picking up new viewers in season 6. Not really.
They're not even pretending.
Yeah. Such a neat moment, and this sort of leads her down the path of where he's trying to sacrifice him because he wants to kill himself. He wants to kill himself so that he can't be used for whatever s.h.i.e.l.d. wants to use him for, and the plan can never be completed. And she's like, "That's what Coulson would do." So somehow there's part of him in there, because this idea that he doesn't want to be, and it was kind of like the last episode I was talking about Total Recall and how Arnold in that movie didn't want to be the Arnold that he was before his mind was wiped, because it doesn't matter because he's become this new person and he sees what's right and wrong. This Sarge doesn't want to be that thing anymore. He doesn't want to be whatever he was before he merged with Coulson's body or whatever. And it's kind of like, it doesn't matter what he was before almost. I mean, it does in a plot sense because he's going to be using his powers to help and do whatever. But,
yeah, obviously, yeah.
But from a character point of view, like, it doesn't matter what he was before to him. He cares about the fact that he has been after s.h.i.e.l.d. all this time. He cares about the fact that she is evil and needs to be stopped. So, no, it really needs. And she ends with her hugging him and the tear coming down the face.
Got 2 episodes left to stop her.
Yeah. It kind of feels like a two-part finale, actually, just the way this ends. It feels like we've got this final location where the villains try to do their thing.
It does. I actually meant to check if they're actually airing it as a double because it felt like it could be.
I don't think they are.
Has S.h.i.e.L.D. done that in the past?
Oh yeah, they used to do it every season. I think.
They are airing it as a double.
Oh, they are. So we got finales next week then. Oh, exciting!
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that actually. That's a nice little S.h.i.e.L.D. movie next week. I think because they did it in season 2 and 3 for sure. I don't know. I think they might have not. They didn't do it in 5, 4. I don't think they did. So I think they did 2, 3, but not 4 and 5.
Yeah, definitely not 5.
I think they didn't do it in 4 because they split it into pods, and it'd be weird for the last pod if there was a double at the end because it would have made it feel really short.
Yeah, they didn't do it in 4.
Yeah, 2 and 3 definitely had it.
3 and 2. Yeah, so it's just 2 and 3, and then now 6. So half the seasons.
Yeah, interesting because there's less episodes this season, but makes some sense.
Well, no, it definitely felt like it was going into a 2-part.
It did, yeah.
Whether or not it would air, because I actually thought about this during the episode. Towards the end, and I thought, oh, I'm going to check, and then I didn't. So I've just checked now.
Yeah, totally. No, this episode was really good, and obviously some other little things to talk about with Fitzsimmons, Skye. They realize, not Skye, sorry, Fitzsimmons and Deke. They realize that the frequencies are a big.
Deke realizes. Let's be fair. Give him the credit he deserves.
Okay, Deke realizes that the s.h.i.e.l.d'S power is frequency based, her harmonies based to be more precise. And they realize that the swords and the daggers ring at a frequency, and they basically, okay, so we can do something. So Fitz is whipping up some belts that'll make everyone's bodies be at the right harmony, so that s.h.i.e.l.d. can't go through them.
Why not?
And Deke's all excited because Fitz gives him like a pen and says, "All right, whip a design up," and he starts drawing his tablet. He's like, "Oh, grandfather's
so proud." Yeah.
Neat little beat. Neat little beat. So I know, like I dug this episode a lot. I don't think it was quite as amazing as last week's episode, just because last week was such a tight kind of conceptual episode of like, oh, we're stuck in the base, this villain's jumping from body to body.
Yeah.
But this one did have the big emotional beat with Skye and Sarge, and the kind of
that was probably better than any moment last week.
Yeah, I would agree. But I think last week's episode was more consistent.
More consistent, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. So no, I mean, I like that a lot. The post logo scene, back to the Chronicons, where main hunter dude kills Enoch's ex, and is like, no, we need to build.
He's like, oh yeah, all that stuff we just saw, that tells us we can definitely get back, the planet. And he's like, well, no, you're reading it wrong. Told us we should go get a new one.
Chronicon 3. Well, no, he does say to her that getting Chronicon 2 back's not a bad idea, but it's useless without a backup in case it fails.
No, but more, just like he's not too bothered about 2 yet. It's like, all right, let's set up a new safe base first.
Yes, but he does say to his 2 henchmen, you know who to kill, like who the targets are. So presumably they're coming to kill Fitz and Simmons. Would be my guess.
Probably, yeah.
Well, because it has to be people they know. Like it's a tease. So,
yeah.
and they make sense because they know who Fitz and Simmons are. They don't really know who everyone else is in the show. So
yeah, basically those are Enoch.
Unless they saw memories in their like minds that they've got that told them to kill whoever else.
All of them. Yeah, that's true, because they were kind of going through their minds quite a bit.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe it was like, oh wait, this Skye character, she could probably beat us. Let's go kill her.
Yeah, but I assume like this is next season's plot.
Yeah, I was thinking that. To a point, I can see Enoch riding in on a horse in the finale to save the day. But this Chronicon stuff, yeah, I expect this is probably more of a season 7 thing. That said, it has been these little small snippets for the last little while, and so maybe it will have a quicker ending than we were expecting.
Maybe it's just had, like, this felt like, oh, okay, this is setting up quite a big undertaking that they're going to go on. They're going to conquer a planet, presumably Earth, to make their new home world.
Yeah. So yeah. Do we just think that they're going to try and take over Earth next season? Is that what the?
Yeah, I think so. Because that felt like That feels like that's too big to do alongside this s.h.i.e.l.d. stuff in the last 2 episodes. It feels like it'd be really rushed if we just throw that in now.
Yeah.
So I assume this is going to be okay. No, we'll get another little tease at the end of the next time, and that'll be right. Okay, that's the final season plot. We'll be dealing with them and what they do.
Which means more Enoch.
Yeah, which I mean we're expecting anyway. Maybe we will still see him in the end of the season. It's not impossible.
It does make me think, though, that these two 13-episode seasons are essentially one big season with 2 pods, like they did, because the way that they've been setting stuff up, it makes me think of what they did in season 4 with the 3 pods, or 5 with the 2.
And they kind of filmed it. I don't know if it's entirely back to back, but
no, because they're filming season 7 now.
I thought I'm sure they filmed some stuff for season 7 before.
Because Clark Gregg tweeted when they had the earthquake that they had to shut down production for the day. Something like that. So, no, they've been shooting. I mean, I don't know if they're still literally shooting it today, but they were shooting it like a week ago. But yeah, so that's episode 11 of S.h.i.e.L.D. Pretty good. I'm excited for the finale. I think it's actually kind of neat that even this 13-episode batch does kind of feel like it's had pods, in the sense that there became a point where the introduction of s.h.i.e.L.D. Coming to Earth kind of felt like it transitioned to her being the main villain. So even though Sarge is still a big part of the plot, it does feel a bit a different chunk compared to when he had his team and they were running around.
Yeah, it definitely
doing stuff.
Shifted it around the 2/3 mark.
Yeah, which is cool. It's because it's made it feel like it has had these different things. But we've had all the space plot, which again feels like a while ago now, even though it's not really that long ago.
Yeah.
And we had that at the same time as all the Sarge stuff, and now we have all this s.h.i.e.L.D. stuff, and we've got Fitz and Simmons back on Earth. It still neatly kind of split itself into like a kind of... It's almost like they had 2 pods running simultaneously for the first 2/3, and then this last third's been this...
Just the one.
Just the one, yeah.
Sure, I can see that.
And in a weird way. I mean, obviously A and B plots are normal, but just in the way that they really had the cast completely separate for like 2/3 of the season, kind of made it feel that way. But hey, so let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that usual stuff. Guys on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the show and the channel and everything we do here, you can head over to patreon.com/mailfuzztv, where you can support us for as little as $1 per month, and you get some bonuses, exclusives, and everything else for that dollar. You can support us at higher tiers though, much like Tim Neal, and sponsor one of our TV reviews and all that kind of stuff. So go and have a look-see. Otherwise, check out other content we have on offer. We just started doing Amazon's The Boys. Episode 1 of that's out already. Episode 2 actually might be up before this goes up. It depends what order I put these up tomorrow. But that may be up already. So go and check that out. And then check out other shows we're doing right now. We're working through Too Old to Die Young, also from Amazon. We're about to get some new Netflix shows. Mindhunter's coming back, Glow's coming back, Dear White People's coming back. A lot of TV going on right now. So check out some of that stuff. But otherwise, that is us. What?
In terms of comic book shows, I believe it's tomorrow, Pennyworth. So I'll be covering the first episode of that. See if that's any good.
Yes. I'm not looking forward to it.
No, but you hate spy stuff as a rule.
Yeah, I'm expecting to hate this show, so I'm making that clear. But that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?